Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to be with you again. Here we are. Dark Souls. Come to my attention, I didn't point out the two things that I struggled to get, so let's just... Dark Moon Ring adds many slots for attunement, so it just adds 2 slots for attunement. Ring of the Dark Moon deity Gwendolyn, youngest son of Gwyn, the First Lord, adds many slots for attunement. Gwendolyn, also known as the Dark Sun, commands the Dark Moon Knights and bestows this ring upon the best of them. Good to know. And where is Dark Moon Blade? Miracle those who devoted themselves to the Dark Moon Covenant. Reinforces right weapon with Dark Moon Light. Miracles of the Dark Moon are tales of revenge, but Captain Yoshka recites only for the sake of remembering her brother, without knowledge of its meaning. Perhaps this is best... Sorry, I'm getting weird reverb in my headphones and it's throwing me off. Perhaps this is better, as revenge is better left to the blades. So she doesn't even know what these tales entail. She just does it out of her love and memory for her brother. And as I saw in the cut dialogue in regards to Gwendolyn's finger that you were to find, but it's been removed from the game now. She really, really, really loved her brother. Like, questionably so. Questionably so. But the iron description for Gwendolyn's finger, which I don't think I added into the video, says that it was consumed. And that was all that was left. Implying that I'm not gonna just connect all the dots. I'm just gonna go straight from A to B, or A to C even. Pontiff Sullivan, who wrongly declared himself Sullivan and then imprisoned Yoshka, is actually working for Aldridge. That much has been made clear. And I'm not sure if the illness that Gwendolyn was stricken with is legit, but it is heavily implied that Pontiff Sullivan offered up Gwendolyn to Aldridge to eat, which is why Aldridge is now changed from, as you probably seen in my Sunbro video, Aldridge has now changed from Aldridge, I think it was either Devourer of Men or just Aldridge the Devourer, or Saint Aldridge Cathedral Deep, to Aldridge the Devourer of Gods, because Sullivan offered up Gwendolyn to be consumed by Aldridge, and he's keeping Yoshka. Don't kick, you twat. He's keeping Yoshka prisoner to also be offered up to Aldridge to be eaten. Why? I'm not sure. But that's just what he does. Aldridge likes to eat people, including gods now. My only question with that is... interruptions, don't you love them? Anyway, my only question with that then is... What about the Gwendolyn you kill in Dark Souls 1? Was that also an illusion? Actually, no, that would make sense. Gwendolyn in Dark Souls 1 being an illusion. Because in Dark Souls 1, when you come to Anor Londo, it's all sunny, sunshine and whatnot. And if you kill Guinevere, who is an illusion created by Gwendolyn, then it turns to night, it's all dark and shit, and you piss off Gwendolyn. But if you kill... Yeah, that's because Gwendolyn was the one creating the illusion. But if you kill Gwendolyn, the illusion of Guinevere remains, and it still stays daytime. So it's highly possible the Gwendolyn that we kill in Dark Souls 1 is also an illusion that Gwendolyn allows us to kill without problem. And here we have our buddy. We have our buddy from Dark Souls 1. We have the giant blacksmith. He's dead. After all these years, he's dead. And the giant's coal. Coal used for weapon infusion. It is said that the giant blacksmith of Anor Londo was once the blacksmith of the gods. Give to the blacksmith in the shrine to allow gens of lightning, simple, and chaos infusions. It's kind of weird how Anor Londo and the gods would give you access to chaos infusions. Like, they were opposed to chaos in pretty much all its forms, really. They were devoted to fighting chaos. That's why That's why Gwyn got fucked up. That's why some of the Silver Knights were charred black, because they were fighting chaos and they lost. I don't need this shit on anymore. Actually, you know what? Oh no, I took off Sorwig's ring. Alright. Oh, hello. Who? Really? All of them from down there? Okay. Let's take you. Moonlight arrows. I got them before. Well, I've shown them before. I haven't read them, I don't think. Where are arrows stored here anyway? Oh, they're stored in arrows. Okay. Thought I heard footsteps. Magical arrows said to have been used by the Dark Moon Knights, imbued with silver light. These arrows inflict magic damage. It is said long ago that the god of the Dark Moon, Gwendolyn, wielded these arrows with a matching golden bow. Which I believe is true. I believe if you use Gwendolyn's soul, you can either get his catalyst or you can get a bow. Dark Moon bow. Can you simmer down? Simmer. Who's got the keys to my bimmer? He has skulls on him. Skulls on his back. What the hell? Aldrich's ruby paired with Aldrich's sapphire. Malformed ring left by Aldrich Saint of the Deep recovers HP from critical attacks. So it's the same, but it's the opposite. Nice. So you can get a pair now. If you can keep crits going, you can keep up that combo. Now we come over here. It's just flask. Yep. I know where... Jesus, really? I know where the last two undead bone shards are, but I'm not sure I remember where the last where the last Esser shard is. There's two more, I believe. Two or three. Two more. I'm not sure where. I'm not sure I know where that is. And there's this mofo who you've seen me fight several times now. And it can't be if you play Dark Souls 1, like, it should be very apparent that Aldrich strongly resembles Gwendolyn. Most likely because he consumed Gwendolyn and then took on his form for some reason. Like, the thing on his head, that's what Gwendolyn wore. I don't know why I was swinging. But yeah, the thing on his head is basically what Gwendolyn wore. Just the features and their hair colour and everything strongly resembles Gwendolyn. Maybe Gwendolyn was the only god Aldrich ever consumed. Otherwise, if he consumed other gods, he'd also retain their features. I'm not sure. How Aldrich works is never like proper stated. He just sort of consumes. And of course, that goes around your shield, so you can't really block that too effectively. Because Aldrich. Arrows, yep. Of course you're going to shoot arrows. And run. And come on. By the time the arrows give up, it's going to shoot them again or disappear. One of the two. Oh, I guess not. Lucky me. Aren't I a lucky little busy bee? Aren't I a little buzzy bee? That's a reference to a thing. Although it's not lucky, it's naughty. Naughty buzzy bee. If anyone remembers that. No one should, let's be honest. Yeah, son. I dodge rolled your ass that time. No healing for you. No healing for you, boy. With your life hunt cipher, you ain't Priscilla. Get out of here. Okay. I've seen a guy block this. I am not willing to test. I'm not willing to test how, but I've seen a guy stand in these arrows and just block it. The guy has more balls than me, I'll tell you that. And Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, is going down. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, you slivery cunt. Sliver up on this dick right here.
Ah, unkindled one. The fire fades and awaits its one last lord. Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul.
I'd rather not. I'll take it and consume it, maybe. Okay, madam, I'll be with you in a minute. I just gotta read some shit. I looked at the picture and I was like, okay, that's some grotesque shit. I just got thrown off. Cinders of a lord left by Aldrich, the Devourer of Gods. If the lords will not return to their thrones themselves, let them return as Cimbers. Aldrich became a lord by devouring men, but was disillusioned with his throne, and so took to devouring gods instead. Think about that. He became a Lord of Cinders by just devouring men and growing in strength. But that wasn't enough. So it was like, fuck it, man. Gods. Gods are where it's at. I like how his is blue. I like how all of the ones that are to do with the Cathedral of the Deep, just blue. Crystal Sage because crystals, and then Souls of Souls, and then Fire shit because chaos. I like that. And then there's just this, which is rotted, I guess. Soul of Aldrich, one of the twisted souls steeped in strength, used to acquire many souls or transposed to extract this true strength. When Aldrich ruminated on the fading of the fire, it inspired visions of a coming age of the deep sea. He knew the path would be arduous, but he had no fear. He would devour the gods themselves. So, did he decide to defy the gods and do the exact opposite? Instead of bringing an age of dark, he wanted to bring an age of sea. He wanted to bring an age of water. And to do so, he believed that he would have to devour the gods themselves to get their power, or just to get them out of the way. I don't know. Shit be crazy. Do be crazy. Anyway, what's up, girl?
Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul. Tell him what he must be, a lord.
Basin of Vows. Chalice used an old ceremony in which Lothric knights take their vows. It is only a formality now, but it remains as an empty practice. Place the basin at a statue of a beheading knight. Let's do that shit, yo! Yeah, it's the booty boss. It's the booty boss. Booty soul starts here. I don't know why I attacked again. Dance of the Boreal Valley. Now, if you remember, we were told about this boss right near the start of the game. In Vort's soul, it says that he is never far from the Boreal Dancer. And look what we have here. A Boreal Dancer in the Cathedral of the Blue, which is literally right outside the Vort boss fight. So they weren't wrong. You can also initiate this boss fight far earlier in the game. If you when you first come here. God damn it. When you first come here and talk to that woman, if you just kill her, the boss fight starts. So you can trigger this right from the get-go. And even with my over-leveled stamina and shit, you can't block that. Can't block that at all. I love the design of this boss though, just the movements and everything. It's tricky as all hell to get a read on like what's an actual attack and what is just their movement and shit. But I love it. I just love how this boss is designed. Also, the lore on this boss may seem almost like non-existent, but I have seen some speculation. People have connected some dots that are rather interesting that I will have to get into later on when I have items and souls to draw from. Oh, I'm out of Estus. Did I use most of my Estus when fighting Aldridge and getting towards Aldridge? Because if so, god damn it. There we go. Dancer down. Goodbye, Missy. Soul of the Dancer. Soul of the Dancer. Soul of the Dancer. Like, just go back to Vort. Vort served as an outrider knight never far from the fleeting dancer. And Soul of the Dancer. The Pontiff Sullivan bestowed a double-slashing sword upon a distant daughter of the formal royal family, ordering her to serve first as a dancer, and then as an outrider knight, the equivalent of exile. Upon a distant daughter of the formal royal family. I'm thinking of the Boreal Valley. Formal royal family. So, he wanted to get rid of this daughter. He wanted to exile this daughter. To me, and to a few other people, with more links and items, descriptions going on, it has led people to the conclusion that there's a good chance the Dancer of the Boreal Valley is Queen Lothric's descendant. Either like the Queen Lothric's granddaughter. Why granddaughter and not daughter? I'll get into later. But now, because we have killed Aldridge, we can go. What's the quickest way? Cliff Underside. Because now there's a final step to someone's character quest line that we must fulfill. And I'll probably end the episode there. It'll be a fairly short one. I hope I don't fuck this up. Because you can fuck this up and fail and get the character killed. I don't want that. I believe it's this way. It's not that way. It's this way. Okay. Also, I like how it's now... Is that an item? Have I never got that? Look how many fucking Dragon Slayer bows I got. That's an item. Partisan. Okay. Oh, that reminds me. There's a stronger crossbow in the Cathedral of the Deep I never got. I'll get that when I next go to Rosaria's. So, partisan. There we go. A spear with a blade attached to a broad point, long reach, can be used with shield up. This weapon can utilize its blade for slicing attacks, generally adaptable in many situations. Crap, it's no lore there. Okay. Alright. Alright, one thing I also did, which I Really? You gonna be like that, girl? Gonna be like that? One thing I did off camera, but I didn't record my voice, is I got, where is it? I got the Hawk ring associated with the Hawkeye Go, one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, the First Lord, extends the range of bows. In his later years, the giant Go was blinded, but this did not prevent him from striking down the calamitous dragon with his great bow. That is direct reference to Calomate from the Dark Souls 1 DLC when you meet Go. And I got that from the giant who shoots arrows. If you get all of the what's it called? The white branches. If you get all of these, the young white branches if you get them all from the game, you go back to him and he's dead. And that's where you get that. I also went back to kill the crabs and got Great Swamp Ring. Rings had to be chiseled from bone. The Flame Salamander by blighted pyromancers living in the Great Swamp. These pyromancers. It is believed that salamanders are descendants of dragons born of the Chaos Flame, for which pyromancy is said to have originated. Now that I don't follow. Dragons born of the Chaos Flame, or salamanders born of the Chaos Flame, yet descended from dragons. No, that says demons. What am I doing? Salamanders are descendants of demons born of the Chaos Flame. Okay, makes sense. My brain all completed that to dragons because salamanders are lizards. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I also got what else? Axe. That was it. I went back and killed those hand things in the Profane Capital, and one of them dropped this. Eleonora. Strange weapon found among malformed inhabitants of the Profane Capital. The Profane Flame was triggered by the curse of these women, relatives of a certain oracle, but despite their culpability, they went on living without any cares. I'm not entirely sure about that. I guess that means the handmaiden women caused the Great Flame to happen. And also, before I do this, I want to just point out in an earlier part, we got the alpha set. I need to sell this shit as well. We got the alpha set in an earlier part, and I said that I think I know which witch they're talking about, but I don't know the saint, and I assumed the witch was Carla. That's not true. In Dark Souls 2, there's an NPC called Alva. I believe it's Dark Souls 2. That you only hear about, but you never see. And legend tells that he was devoted to a saint and went on a journey to save their life, but a witch went out of their way to try to stop them. But along the way, I guess I'm not sure if it's ever implied or said, but it's implied that, well, I say it never implied or said. I don't remember like how it's said, but I remember it being somewhat implied that the witch and Alva eventually joined forces and possibly fell in love along their travels. I could be completely wrong, but because it's been so long since I played Dark Souls 1. I mean, not Dark Souls 2. Like, it's been far longer. Like, I've played Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 since Dark Souls 2. Like, it's been ages. But I do remember Alva being a thing and his tale of a saint and a witch being a pre-existing thing. So I just wanted to clear up that was wrong when I thought it was talking about Carla. But anyway, that is this. Touch sign requesting cooperation. Answer series the Sunless Realm's call for cooperation and be summoned as a phantom.
I finally found you. Just as I promised, Grandad. Remember?
Granddad, eh? Holy Knight Lothric here. Holy Knight Lothric here. Lothric? My mind is... like, I guess I'm still recovering from all that farming shit. But... Holy Knight Hodrick here is Sirius's grandfather. And... you get... nah. I was going to say you could get some prior knowledge out of that because the katana you get mentions leaving his blade for his family, but this guy doesn't use a katana, so that thinking's out. Come on, one more Estus, do it. Okay, did he power win? Let him power within. There we go. Now he's hurt himself. Now he's hurt himself good. There we go.
Good night, Granddad.
Yep. Holy Knight Hodrick defeated. Sirius defeated her granddad. And now there's a few things we can get from that now. A few things we can get from her. Or say from her quest line. Because there's one more step to her quest line now. We need to use her for one more boss fight, and that's it. So now if we go back to the shrine bonfire, we got some shit to collect.
Oh, there you are. I'm afraid I've involved you in my affairs over a little promise at that. My sincerest thanks for your assistance. At last, my grandfather will rest in peace, and I can die. But there is one last. May I take a vow to serve you as a knight?
Now, if you say no, she goes back to the Pit of Hollows and is hollowed out and insane. You have to kill her.
I am most grateful. I, Sirius, do hereby serve as your faithful knight. Wherever, whenever I am needed. My loyalty shall never waver. Blessing of the moon upon your journey. If I may ever be of assistance, I am your knight forever and true. Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
Thank you, madam. Now, if we go over here.
Ah, well met, Ashen One. How may I...
Budding green blossom. Green flower-shaped weed with small white blossoms. Large temporary boost of stamina recovery. A brief attached message suggests that it was a gift. Goodbye, dear grandmother. I will visit grandfather in the Pit of Hollows. Now, I could be wrong. I'm gonna buy that. I could be wrong, but to me, Sirius gave this to the Shrine Maiden, her grandmother. It is quite possible that this lady here, I'm going to sell all the excess shit while I'm talking. This lady here, this Shrine Maiden, is in fact Sirius's grandmother, Hodrick's wife. Nothing concrete. It's just what I've got out of this. And I'm just selling all this shit. There's a lot of shit to sell. So I was grinding for a long time.
Ashen 1.
Ah, the hell with it, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Now there's 2 more things. Ah, really? Really, game? There's 2 more things I want to pick up. And I'm not entirely sure if one of them is now or later. Come on. I don't understand why this is a thing. Like, it's meant to be a loading thing for... I don't know, for PC, I guess, but... There we go. So if we come down here... Come down here... Turn the corner... This is Sparta. Here we go. Sunset Shield. The Shield of Hodrick. Shield of the Holy Knights of the Sunless Realms. Engraved with a brilliant flame crest that burns brightly within the Order's customary sunset colours. This design symbolises those who both harbour and oppose the power of the flame. So the Sunless Realms, whatever realms they are in direct opposition to the gods. They do not agree with Gwyn's Age of Fire, as it were. They believe in the Age of Man. Whether or not that makes them Londor, I don't know, or affiliate to Londor in any way. And there's also this. I believe I pointed out this grave at the start. It has what I pointed out to be Artorias' shield, but now we know it's a sword. It's a sword. Did I say shield? Sword of the Undead Legion, and at its foot, Harkwood's shield. Harkwood is the guy that is always defeated, that we talked to before he disappeared. Shields that belong to Harkwood, Desert of the Undead Legion. The unique swordsmanship of the Watchers does not normally allow for the use of shields. The unique swordsmanship... I've never noticed that. That repeats, okay. And Harkwood's very possession of it was telltale of his defeat. So Harkwood was a member of the Undead Legion, and he got his ass kicked. He was defeated and lost. Now I wonder if Lionheart has any... Lionheart, no. I wonder if Lionbot has anything to say about this.
Now invade and come on.
No.
Now, and if you grow weary of your duty, you too, come on, give you.
No, okay. I can't do Isaiah's thing yet because there's still one more step to Sirius's quest line. I don't want to mess with. And no one has anything to buy. Actually, no. No, wait, there's still more stuff to buy.
How may I?
Because now that we've done that, now that we've bit Aldridge and the dancer. Crown worn by the dancer of the Boreal Valley, the mirage-like aura veil is said to be an article of the old gods, permitted only to direct descendants of the old royal family. Direct descendants of the old royal family, so she is a direct descendant to Gwyn and all that. And the only way she could be a direct descendant to Gwyn is through one of Gwyn's 4 children that we know of. Yorshka, unlikely to have children. Gwendolyn, unlikely to have children. The firstborn son, who's fucked off, had his name stricken from history, so we don't even know. And Guinevere, who we know had a husband and went off to be the Queen of Lothric. And now, there's a reason why it's very likely that she is descendant of Guinevere, but there's a reason why I'm not saying that she is Guinevere's daughter and is Guinevere's granddaughter. We will get into that later. And then we have this. Smo. Grotesque armour associated with Smo, the last knight to stand in defence of the Royal Cathedral. Boosts extremely high defence and can be donned by humans, but not without great difficulty. And it all says the same. Any other armour? Nope.
Ashen 1.
Which is wasn't he? My, the cold of that piece Seems like ages passed. I imagine his passing was long ago. I miss the old bugger, I do. My thanks. I'll be sure
So
this
Andre
conference put to good
was
use.
good friends with
I'll be smithing
the
weapons.
giant,
Never have
which
foreseen
is something I
the likes
never
of ye.
would have expected.
It's but a small service.
I never thought he would have known about him, but he did. But now let's go back to the Pit of Hollows. Because there's something else we gotta do now. Just one last thing. Wait, no, there's another thing I forgot to do. Damn it. Yeah, another thing I completely forgot to... I forgot to check what the items the souls can give me. Because I'm a genius, clearly. I'm a professional. This has been 100% smooth run. No problems whatsoever. No hiccups. No issues. I have been on point this entire episode. Anyway. We now have the sunset. The sunset set. We now have the sunset set. Why did I... Goddamn. Helm of Hodrick, Holy Knight of the Sunless Realms. This light gold helm, named for its sunset hues, is now faded and wrapped in tainted rags. The sorry fool was known to wander the battlefield as a crazed ghoul, lashing out at friend and foe alike. So that's why Sirius had to kill her own father, because he had been driven mad. And had to be put down, basically. I mean, he was a mountain maker, of course he was mad. And I think all of it says the same. Yeah. Yeah, it appears it all says the same. Yep, okay. Alright, well. Back to Firelink. Because I completely messed up there. Completely forgot to read that soul shit, bruh. Hey, let's go. And this will be it for the episode. For the soul of the dancer, we get special miracle granted to maidens of the Princess of Sunlight. Restores a large amount of HP for self and those in the vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, bestow their blessing on a great many warriors. So not only is the dancer a descendant of the royal family, but her soul can be used to create a miracle of Guinevere. A special miracle granted only to those who served under Guinevere, who have a direct link to Guinevere. So there's that, but there's also one more thing that helps that, or two more things I believe, that help that case. So yeah. There's also the soul of Aldrich gives us the life hunt scythe. Aldrich dreamt as he slowly devoured the god of the dark moon. In his dream, he perceived the form of a young pale girl in hiding. Now that could either be Yorshka or Priscilla. I believe Priscilla. Because despite, Yorshka being Gwendolyn's sister, and who Gwendolyn probably would have been thinking of as he was devoured, Yorshka wouldn't have wouldn't have a link to the life hunt scythe, as opposed to Priscilla, who was a young pale girl who specifically is linked to the ability life hunt. So for whatever reason, devouring Gwendolyn gave Aldrich visions of Priscilla, which I'm not entirely sure why. That would imply that Gwendolyn has a further tie to Priscilla, other than possibly being brother and sister. And also, that would also require Gwendolyn to have knowledge of Priscilla, who we've never had any implication that he's had any knowledge of her or interaction with her to begin with. So there's a lot to get from that. And item wise, here we go. Dancer's Enchanted Swords. Paired enchanted swords that Pontiff Sullivan bestowed upon the dance of the Boreal Valley. These blades, symbolic of the dancer's vows, are enchanted by dark magic in the right hand and fire in the left, mirroring the pontiff. So basically, it's also in the armor, I believe. I didn't read all of it. No. Where's the dancer? Dancer's armor. The black eyes of the pontiff eventually transform the dancer into a beastly creature, her armor fusing with her own hide. That's fucked up. Dancer's gauntlets. Own hide. Own hide. Okay, basically, it can be assumed that Sullivan knew of the dancer's heritage and thus wanted to control and restrict her. And create his own personal, I don't know, assassin. Or his own personal assassin, his own personal warrior. So he took Yorshka, just hid her away until it was time for her to be disposed of. He fed Gwendolyn to Aldridge. He took Guinevere's granddaughter, or a descendant of Guinevere, and transformed her into a beast, a mindless beast that would only serve Sullivan. So Sullivan was... It said in Aldridge's thing that they wanted to defy... you know what, let me just read the last thing. Longbow of the Dark Moon Gwendolyn, who was gradually devoured by Aldridge. This golden bow is imbued with powerful magic and is said to be the most impressive with moonlight arrows. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so in Aldridge's soul. Ruminated on the fading of the fire, it inspired visions of the coming age of deep sea. He knew the path would be arduous and he had no fear he would devour the gods himself. Pontiff Sullivan devoted himself to helping this happen. Pontiff Sullivan devoted himself to helping this happen, and as such went out of his way to one by one dismantle the royal family of Gwyn. That's some fucked up shit right there. And that is the end of this episode. So on the next one we are going to go on. We're not going to progress to Lothric Castle. We're going to an optional area with one of my least favourite bosses, because fuck me.